So in all the years of bouncing, what's the craziest fight you've ever seen?
Oh.
Pick one. I don't. You know.
I mean, with guns, without guns.
Well, let's. I want to hit on weapons later, so let's start without guns.
Without guns.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Working DNA, running the door, and this was back in the early '90s. There were half a dozen Hells Angels inside. The bikes were parked right outside the door. You know, a group of young brothers came up. A couple of them didn't have their ID. They were rowdy. Or, you know, just like, this is going to be trouble. So we just refused them entrance. Words back and forth. So as they're walking away, they grab hold of Anthony's bike and just try to throw it over like this. I'm going, oh shit, man, somebody's going to get killed here. So I run over and I catch it, and so I'm trying to pick it up and get it back up on its stand, you know. And it's a Harley, and it's a Hells Angels Harley. It's a heavy bike, you know. So you know, I'm trying to get it up, and Joey comes out, one of the Angels, and he starts getting into it, and he's surrounded. There's 5 or 6 of them. He's surrounded. And he's fighting and punching, and you know, trying to slip some of the blows, and then I get it just about up, and Papa comes by me like a bowling ball, man, just like wham, and he does this flying cross-body block and knocks everybody down. And then he's the first one on his feet. He's kicking this one over there, getting up and punching that one over there. You know, the shit's in the fan, you know. And then the rest of the Angels come out. So all of a sudden it's like 6 on 6, you know, and they're rolling back and forth up and down 11th Street in front of DNA.
Oh, wow.
You know, and it's, you know, it's getting pretty ugly. And then the brothers they walk to a car, they open the trunk, and I'm going, oh fuck, we're all dead now. Yep. Cops rolled up just then, lights on, you know, cops rolled up just then. And you know, they never asked to see what was in the trunk. They just told them, you shut the trunk. And they shut the trunk, you know, and well, we dodged a bullet on that. You know?
All right, with guns.
With guns. Well, at the Omni, one of our customers and one of the neighborhood guys got into it outside, and back then where the Omni was, the neighborhood was called Short Shattuck. And it was that last block of Shattuck before it runs into Telegraph. And
it's funny that it takes me a second to remember that neighborhood being rough, because it was crazy rough. But right now it's
all gentrified, right?
Yeah.
But back then it was rough, so they got into it. The neighborhood guy pulls a fucking revolver out. The customer guy goes to his trunk, pulls out a shotgun, and so the neighborhood guy gets across the street, and he's in a doorway, and he's peeking around the doorway, and this guy's standing like this, and he's standing right in front of the door to the truck. And so, this is an all-ages club, and all them kids want to stand there and look like, you know, this is on TV, and I'm kicking them, I'm pushing, get the fuck away from the door, man, this isn't TV, you know? You're right behind where you know, you're a backdrop. If he misses him, he's going to get you. Get out of the door. Get out of here. And at the same time, I'm trying to yell at the guy and go, you don't want to do this. You go to jail. You never get laid again. You know, you no more fun. No more hanging out at bars. Don't do this. Put the gun away. Don't put it down. And he's standing there telling, go ahead, motherfucker, step out. You know, and it's like, oh, shit. But yeah, the thing I remember most is all these kids, it was like it was on TV. You know, they weren't thinking that they're standing right behind one of the shooters.
I think sometimes with extreme violence, it takes a while to catch up what's going on in your head. There's a little bit of just shock and a little bit of like, oh, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Before you start, now, okay.
Yeah.
That's a gun.
You know,
So especially you've never been in those situations before.
Yep.
I expect people are like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Or, my first inclination is to get low.
Yeah.
And
well,
then,
see, that's the thing.